Hi everybody, we will be doing another reading from Overcoming Performance Anxiety today. And the reason I am doing these is so that we can find our truth, find our expression. And I did a video last week on finding your true expression or your creative expression, but so that each of us can find our creative expression from the divinity, from the truth, from the love that exists within us and express it in the world, because that's how we bring love and peace into the world, right? That's how we bring everything back into balance, by each of us having the courage to express our true identity as a divine being of light and love. When we have the courage to express that, and then we give other people the courage to express that, then we are bringing that consciousness into the world as our true divine expression. So when I was working on healing mine, and I still am, but I'm pretty much better than I was, that was my purpose, so that I could bring my expression more clearly out into the world. And it was very clear to me that I should do this as a book so that I could share it with other people, so that we can all find that expression within us. So the meditation I did last week, if you're unsure what your creative expression might be, I'm still discovering mine. So I've been working with music, and obviously I love making these videos, and I love sharing my inner truth, what comes through me, with people. And I did on Learn It Live, I do a class on Learn It Live usually every 2 weeks, and I did one on finding your creative expression. And we did a little exercise where we allowed a being to come to us and hand us a piece of paper. And on my piece of paper, it said class, which is not what I was expecting. So obviously I'm doing classes on Learn It Live, but I'm wondering if there's something deeper for me to see there. So I'm going to keep looking at that. So I think it's a constant exploration, right? We're always exploring deeper and deeper, and seeing where our expression might go and how we might explore it differently. But today, I'm going to do a reading from Overcoming Performance Anxiety and a little meditation, contemplation on what we read. And I just open the book randomly and trust that the divine is showing us what we should see today. This is one I don't really want to read, but I'm going to read it. Here's where some more beautiful backstory was revealed to me. The founder and director of the music school came over to my car. I studied guitar with him in the first years of the school's conception. I have always felt a special connection to him, and I honor and respect what he has done with the school. It has really grown since I was there. I believe I was around 36 years old at that time, as I had just come back from Santa Fe in California before that. I swore that I would never come back to my hometown to live, but the divine had different plans, because I am still here today. Most of the kids in the school at that time were high school students into their early 20s. The age difference didn't bother me. I just wanted to better myself on guitar. I had been self-studying for 3 years in Santa Fe while writing many songs. At the time that I was at the school, there was a girl there who was very gifted in music and dance, and she rocked. She could just sing, and I mean really sing, without any studying or effort. She was a great dancer, she was beautiful, and she was a very kind person. She has since become semi-famous and has what seems to be a thriving music career. At the time, that feeling of envy for her powerful natural voice again hit me. It wasn't as strong as it had been in my youth, because I was writing songs and I really liked what I was playing and singing. But seeing someone with so much natural talent struck that envy in my heart. I am reminded of the line I wrote in the beginning of this book. It didn't occur to me that I could do things differently, the way that I was meant to. The way that I was given a gift wasn't the same as those girls who I admired. The way that I was given a gift would have asked for a different expression from me. So that's funny, because this has come up for me this week. Admiring other people and having it turn a bit into envy. So, yes, even with someone I was working with this week, for them, jealousy came up. But I've also been looking at it I don't want to call it jealousy. It's definitely a feeling of envy. Like, I envy what that person has. So this girl, who I got to see at the reunion show that we did in November, and she's just as awesome and sweet and a friend as much as she ever has been. But she's just one of those people that was born with it. And she had this powerful voice, has this powerful voice. And she was an amazing dancer. And we were always friends and had a sweet connection. So in the looking at that, as I was working up to being on stage with all of these awesome musicians, like all these kids that have gone through the school are so incredible. And I'm not going to disclude myself from that because I do believe that I have talent. It's just, I get into these phases or these modes where I'm like, oh my God, these people are so good. How am I going to be with them on stage? So I had to look at that when I was preparing to go. And I've always had this just nagging feeling inside of me. I'm just not as good as someone else. And what was shown to me during that whole time was, well, you're different. You're not the same as them. You're different. You have a different talent, which is the line that I read in the book. You have a different talent. And so that has been a journey for me, right? Seeing what my actual talent is and what my actual gift is and seeing how I can express that. And I'm learning that more and more because the songs that I'm writing are different than maybe mainstream songs that are out there right now. But I've had people say to me, you have a certain style, you have a certain sound. All of your songs bring the same kind of sound and energy forth. And when I write my songs, I really surrender to the divine and I ask the divine to write through me. And so it all becomes this, I guess, signature sound that I'm starting to become aware of. And I feel like I'm tripping over my words. So I'm going to close my eyes and just see what the divine wants to say about this today. So I walk into my own heart space. I walk into my own room, right? My own room of consciousness, my own room of grace, my own room of love. And sitting in my own room, and you can do this with me. So if you want to close your eyes, walk into your own heart space, into your own room. What is available to me in my own room? What have I been given? What am I missing when I'm looking outwardly at someone else's talent? What am I missing within myself? Am I seeing something deeply within myself that came here to express in a certain way? I think for me, I see people praised if they have a certain vocal expression. If they have one of these loud, belting voices, right, that can just project. And I've always seen that as praised. And even when I was younger, I didn't get into certain groups because I didn't have that kind of voice. I didn't get the leads in the musicals. I didn't get into show choir because I didn't have that kind of voice. So I think it made me want something different so I could participate in a different way. But what if I look deeper within myself and see what is available for me? And here's another, for instance, that came up for me this week. As you know, if you watch my videos, I like Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. And he's been collaborating with the singer Melan, who just has this very gorgeous, pure, ethereal voice. And I know she does other kinds of singing, so I don't know what her voice is like when she sings other kinds of music. But in that arena, right, when she's doing this very just kind of pure vocal expression, it's just this kind of pure angelic voice. And that's a very different kind of voice, but it's still touching people, a lot of people. She's touching a lot of people and opening hearts. So, message today for me and maybe any of you that might be watching, find your own truth, find your own expression, find what's valuable within inside of you and express it in the world. Enjoy other people's crafts, enjoy other people's expressions, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to share with each other and then enjoy each other's expressions. But don't let that pull you out of your true expression. And that's my lesson. And that's actually been coming up for me this week. So it's very appropriate that it was what we read today in the book. So, Jai Ma, thank you for being here. And I will see you again soon.